The largest, the most powerful, the most ambitious.
Welcome to SpaceX's Starship and the future. The date could change again because it is a new vehicle, but in the morning of 4/20/2023, yes, April 20th, 2023, will be the craziest thing that you will ever see.
Starship is a 9-meter wide, 120-meter tall, fully rapidly reusable launch vehicle. This vehicle will be sent to the moon and someday go to Mars. It has been selected as the lunar lander for NASA's human landing system for the Artemis Program. Let's start with the Super Heavy booster. There are 4 grid fins on the top ring of the stage. This helps control the vehicle in free fall when it comes back to land. On the bottom of the rocket, powered by cryogenic propellants, liquid methane, and liquid oxygen, there are 33 Raptor 2 engines that can produce 16 3/4 million pounds of thrust, or 74 meganewtons, double the thrust of the next most powerful rocket to ever reach orbit, the Saturn V, the rocket to help take Apollo astronauts to the moon. Raptor 2's engine cycle is full flow stage combustion, the most complicated closed cycle type. A delicate dance, one of the most complicated startup sequence of any rocket engine, producing chamber pressures never seen before in a rocket engine. Now to the upper stage. This 50-meter tall behemoth has 3 sea-level Raptor 2 engines similar to the ones on the booster. In addition to those 3, there are 3 vacuum-optimized Raptor engines that have a larger nozzle. In space, there's no air to constrict the plume, leading to expand very wide. The larger nozzle compensates to keep everything stable and efficient. Those big flaps on the side control the vehicle when Starship is doing its iconic bellyflop maneuver. This is the part of the vehicle to eventually have astronauts and payload on board. It'll be able to carry up to 150 tons to orbit. T-minus 8 seconds, the 33 Raptor engines on the booster will ignite, and at T0, the Dragon will be released.
There may be a launch, there may not be a launch, but excitement will be guaranteed.
A massive milestone is maximum dynamic pressure, or the most aerodynamic load on the vehicle at T plus 55 seconds. Stage separation is where Starship and Super Heavy separate at T plus 2 minutes 52 seconds. The booster will then turn around and do a boost back burn to land softly in the Gulf of Mexico.
The booster for this mission will not be recovered by SpaceX.
Starship will continue burning for another 7 minutes to get just under orbital velocities, enough momentum to make it all the way around the planet in about an hour, and re-enter the atmosphere of the Pacific Ocean. Starship will kind of half perform its iconic belly flop maneuver, but then never light the engines and flip upright.
So when we talk belly flop, we mean belly flop into the ocean.
If you are unlike me, and actually going to South Texas, I know there's a deep dive video from Everyday Astronaut on the topic that is really good.
Speaking of Everyday Astronaut, if you're like me, you don't live anywhere near rockets, so we gotta rely on live streams. SpaceX has a feed that goes live 45 minutes before the launch, and it has awesome onboard views.
However, if you don't want to watch SpaceX's feed or want hours of pre-launch questions, we live in an era where there's a multitude of massive channels that have consistent live streams of launches out of Starbase. NASASpaceFlight, Everyday Astronaut, LabPadre, and others are super awesome. This is also a big enough launch where it will be on basically every main news station if you want to watch it on TV.
Starship inevitably has a large probability to fail on this mission. But in this case, that's okay. It's just a test article, and we'll gather data from it and we'll move on. For instance, Booster 9, which will be one of the next Starships to launch, has hundreds of improvements said by Elon Musk. A rocket comparable to Starship in ambition and size is the Soviet Union's N-1 moon rocket. This is going to be the rocket that takes Soviet astronauts to the moon in the space race. This rocket failed to reach orbit 4 times. It never reached orbit, actually, in the end. And on the second attempt, it created one of the most large non-nuclear explosions in human history. That rocket only had 2,300 tons of propellant. Starship has 5,000 tons of propellant. Also known as this could go badly. Due to the rapid innovation at SpaceX, the risks for this mission are very high, but the rewards are actually quite bigger.
Whatever happens on April 20th will be very important. And with the rapid innovation of the spaceflight industry, I think there's a lot to look forward to and be extremely excited about.
Godspeed, Starship, and I'll see you next time.